using about 3 gig of the 6 gig, so it means that I can turn up quite a lot more. You'll notice that I'm actually most of the time over 60 FPS on this particular setting the way I've got it set up right now, and I'm going to advise you what to probably put up from the differences. Most of this is all the way up except for obviously the stuff you don't really need. So FX AA is on, probably don't even need that, but it does look better with it on. MSIA is off, VSync is off obviously for this particular benchmarking, but if you get some screen tearing just put it on or whatever, because unless you plan to play PvP then take it off again. Population density all the way up, population variety all the way up, distance scaling all the way up, which is what it comes out of the box like. Texture quality, shader quality, shadow quality and reflection quality are all very high. Reflection MSA is off, water quality is very high, particles quality is very high, grass quality is ultra. I've got soft shadows on soft. Now I think this really helps with the FPS because I mean I could put it on AMD, but I think that uses quite a lot. But I actually think for me soft works really well, and I quite like soft as well. It looks good, and I'm not thinking, oh that looks a bit jaggy or that don't look quite right. It looks great. Post FX I've got to normal, not, and I think that goes up to very high. Yeah, that goes up to ultra. But I can't stand having motion blur and depth of field effects in the game, and most post FX stuff doesn't really please me too much, so I have that set to normal, and that's quite good because you actually do save a little FPS there, and that motion blur that you can get by a 4K monitor kind of gets diminished a little bit. Anisotropic filtering is times 16, ambient oculation is high. I don't think that goes any higher than high. That's off or high. And I've got this, but I think this only goes up to very high as well, so that's that. Advanced settings, everything is turned off, but you can probably put this on because I think these three settings here only probably give you a few FPS drops. I've got them turned off. It's probably a little unnecessary. I think one of them's a little bit more than the other two, which I can't remember which one is. It's probably the high detailed streaming while flying. Now the extra FPS, what I was going to recommend that you probably use that on if you know going over 60 and your monitor's only 60 and you think, well maybe I can you know use that FPS on something. Extended distance scaling and extended shadows distance, two things that you can alter. Stop slight kind of like, because over a certain amount of distance you'll see in the lower quality trees and etc like that, buildings, and as you get closer they become high quality versions. This scaling changes on when that happens, so it kind of feels less offensive when it does happen. Frame scaling mode is off on mine, and let's benchmark it. Now this benchmark doesn't finish and give you an average and your highest and all that, so you have to catch it in the moment, and when it gets near to the end I will be turning this off because it will actually restart, and restart kills ShadowPlay. One thing about this game is how beautiful it is. Those shadows you see, they're fine, and it's absolutely a stunningly beautiful game, especially with a in 4K you can really see it pop, and it's more eye candy than you can ever imagine. See, that's still kind of like, I don't know if that's supposed to be the heat effect or something, but that just looks a little bit jerky to me. Last time I watched it was a bit kind of feeling a little jerky. Might be just how it is, but this was smooth last time and it's smooth now. See, I think the shadows look great and soft. It's a good example. Just look at the pleasure pier when the light comes back in. Look at those shadows. They look great. The water effects and everything else. It's a really beautiful game. And as you can see, I'm sure you're watching the FPS. This is probably one of the lower ones. It's just slightly under 60. obviously alter that, the advanced settings to make this look a little sweeter. I think it looks alright. This is the bit where you can see how the textures in the background are kind of low textures and then they're put into detailed textures as you get nearer to it, kind of like there's almost like a dark colour that goes over the top. That's where the shadows appear suddenly underneath the trees. You can change that by in the advanced settings by changing those scaling options. Use the extra FPS. It was getting lows there. You noticed we could probably tweak it a little bit and get a bit more better FPS. We're coming up to the end of the benchmark now, so I'll probably end this a little before he probably slams straight into the oil tanker or petrol tanker or gas tanker, depending. It's a little bit different every time I watch it.
That is beyond annoying.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like or subscribe. Bye.